I want to make a request, special request. Chair, I've never called any witness. I'm the only person, after so many allegations made against me by different people. In this one, I just want to ask the commission to just summon or call and come with a docket. Either Sergeant Shihangule or the Colonel Mashabela, who's investigating this matter, because the matter was not receiving attention at all. Since they investigated, the family was happy, completely happy. And may I also indicate that there's no any other person, senior, who's been involved in this matter than I have been, who pushed for this investigation more than I have done. And I'll tell you why. We have had, together with the minister, a meeting with the DPCI investigators. Now, this is a team that is able to trace a person without only looking at the phone and the SIM card, but whether you are on Wi-Fi or whatever. I expressed my dissatisfaction about this matter and invited their support. At the police summit, I was one of the speakers. I raised that, and I said at the police summit, I said, as a country, it is very worrying that a matter like this we are not able to resolve, where a person has been kidnapped for so long and we are unable to trace. We've got technology and we've got everything. At some point, the minister called the service providers to his office at his residential. With all the service providers for the communication, different. I raised the matter and say, everybody uses communication. Why are we not able to put all the resources that we want, that we have to trace this person? I went out of my way to make sure that this person gets traced. Now, my request is that the team that is investigating, Chair, if one of them could just come and say, this is what we've been doing, look at the docket before we got it, and what investigations we ran up until the docket, up until we were called. This thing that the National Commissioner received a complaint that I'm a friend to Ket Matlala, I don't know where it comes from. But
General, when did you put this team together? I don't know if you mentioned the date. You had said you'd called a meeting and then you formed the team. When was that?
After the same day the brother came to my office, I called a big team in the room, including intelligence themselves.
I understand. I'm asking, when was that? The date?
It's like I was saying, I don't have it here. I'll provide the date.
Sure.
Because they all came in my office when the date. It will be in the investigation diary of the docket when everything started. But the report I have, I will get the report. I have it somewhere, but I'll show it first thing in the morning and say, yes, that report that I spoke about. So that it is clear that they conducted the investigation, even when I heard the National Commissioner saying that he was also approached by a Calvin Rafadi, who told him that General Sibiya is Ket Matala's friend and cannot investigate this matter. Now, the investigation team were working hand in hand with the parent, with the mother, and they were very happy. Even when the team, they attempted to take the docket away from them, even generals in Tumula, apparently they went to try and speak to the mother so that the team can be changed. The mother refused. Even when one of the generals, I think it was General Mkwanazi, saying that they spoke to General Kumalo, saying that they spoke to the mother and the mother was complaining, and it is not true. I am asking the commission to just call the investigators to come with a docket as well and to demonstrate to this commission which team investigated this thing and made more investigation, because the team has been everywhere, even to Limpopo. They turned every stone. They followed all the leads. Even they worked with the family. Whatever information the family produced, at some point people were traced. I know of some colors that were traced, and some of them ran away. Some of them ended up being arrested for something else. But there were people traced. All I want to ask is that the commission should summon the investigating officer, because this matter was investigated thoroughly. The PKTT was never involved, not even once. Not even once. But be that as it may, I just want to say, Commissioner, my request, special request, please let this investigation serve as an example, and put here to go through it and see who worked, who did the job, and who didn't do the job. That's all.
I thought I heard you mention the race of some of the people that were arrested.
Yeah, there
Am
was.
I correct? You don't need to repeat that. At the end of Mr. Makagula's evidence, I had prepared a very long note in which I wanted to comment on the fixation within the police structures to refer to the races of people. I never understand that, especially if race is totally irrelevant to what the person is saying or writing. It's a hang-up from the apartheid days, where even judges would write in judgments, A, B, C, D, a Bantu male did this and that and that, when being a so-called Bantu is totally irrelevant to what's being said. I noticed that in particular with police officers. I don't know why that remains with police officers. Anyway, please continue.
May I apologize, Chair, and to the people of South Africa if what I said maybe or may have caused some uncomfortability. It just came the way it came. I apologize, Chair.
Please continue.
Yes.
General, before you continue, you say that General Masemula's evidence that Mr. Bushoka's mother approached him and expressed unhappiness with your involvement. Similarly, General Kumalo's statement that the mother has expressed unhappiness, and you said that is not true, and you say it very firmly. Do you say it is not true because you have spoken to Mr. Bushoka's mother, and so you know that she never expressed that kind of unhappiness with your involvement?
Personally, I've never spoken to Mr. Bushoka's mother, and most probably I may not be in a position to say it is not true that the National Commissioner spoke to the mother, but my investigators, the one that are involved, told me that we're working well with the mother and she's happy. In fact, she said to me, I said to the family, if you are not happy with me being in on this case, I'm prepared to give it. And then the mother said, no, keep it.
Okay, so you're saying what General Masemula and Generals Kumalo and Masemula have said is not true because your investigators have said to you the mother is happy with the work that they do.
That's correct.
Is that your basis? Okay,
That's correct.
Thank you. Thank you.
It is my request as well, Chair, that they should come and corroborate what I'm saying.
Thank you.
Okay, paragraph 169.
To the best of my knowledge, the team that I put together when I was leading the investigation into the kidnapping of Jerry Bushoka continued to investigate this case until just recently in December 2025 when the docket was taken away from this team. But all along, the docket was with the team. Even when those allegations were made, the docket continued to be with the team. This conduct is irreconcilable with the suggestion that any genuine or substantiated concern existed regarding my suitability to oversee the investigation. If there were genuine concerns regarding my involvement in the investigation, it begs the question why no steps were taken at that time to remove me from the same. Now, allow me, Chair, to give this example. We had a journalist that was kidnapped at Mpumalanga, Kwamhlanga, with his wife. And then the matter was being investigated by organized crime, Gauteng. I got contacted by the journalist. One journalist said to me, General, our colleague has been kidnapped and it's quite a number of days now and nothing is happening. We were advised to approach you so that maybe you can put more energy and more effort. It was on a Saturday. I called for a meeting for a Sunday morning in Mamelodi police station. The investigating officer came with a docket. I brought another intelligence, a bigger team, including there was a private investigator, Mr. Calvin Rafadi, the same Rafadi. He was there because he's the one who was initially involved in the investigation. He's the one who was guiding us because we found him there. He gave us background and all the groundwork that he has done. And when we listened to him, it was assisting and giving us some leads. And from there, as the South African Police Service, we took over. I personally I went onto the ground myself. I spent the whole week in the bush looking for the investigating up until we traced. We arrested people and we found the bodies. Now, I just want to say it's typical in the work that I do as the head of investigations. When something big happened, it hits against my chest if we are unable to resolve that particular matter. The same applies to your Lusikisiki 18 murders. I'm just giving that example. I had to go on the ground up until we arrested everybody. So involving myself into the Rafadi, into the Jerry Boshoga matter is part of my responsibilities. It's not only the only kidnapping that I resolved. There's been some other, I don't know whether to say it, Judge, Chairperson, nationality of Indian origin, where the children were kidnapped. I got involved, and the children, when they were found, I was called, stood in front of them for the parents to thank me for my involvement. So I just want to say, I get involved in lots because of it's my work, and then I have to take the lead. It's not because of I'm getting involved because it's a Mr. Matala or want to protect somebody. Let me end it there. Go to paragraph.
Can you go to 171? That will conclude your point on Jerry Boshoga, and then we can move on.
Equally, it remains unexplained why the investigative team that I constituted was permitted to continue running the investigation until very recently. The absence of any intervention is inconsistent with the belated consent now raised and undermines the suggestion that my involvement was regarded as at the time as improper or prejudicial to the investigation. Now, the National Commissioner's point of contention. In his witness statement, the National Commissioner contends that upon my appointment as Deputy National Commissioner Crime Detection in June 2023, 3 points of contention purportedly arose almost immediately, suggesting that what he characterized as a deeper operational complexities. I address each of these alleged points of contention in the paragraphs that follow. The first alleged point of contention is said to arise from what General Masemola characterized as my purported strong desire to assume direct control of the cold case unit, which he claims has historically reported to the Office of the National Commissioner. When you look at the structure of the cold case unit, the previous structure that was signed by the previous National Commissioner Ketla Sitole, it reported to the detectives. When you read the structure that is signed by the National Commissioner himself, the structure, the cold case unit, reports to the Deputy National Commissioner, to the Divisional Commissioner, who reports to the Deputy National Commissioner, Crime Detection. It's not reporting to the National Commissioner. We all, in any event, report to the National Commissioner, but what I mean is that it reports to the Deputy National Commissioner. So for me, to want to get involved in the inspection, I want to know where this head is. I want to know how many dockets are there and are they being inspected. It's my job. The second one is, now I want to refer to page 439 to 444. I don't know, it's of the same document. The National Commissioner was not being truthful. Please refer to the structure. Now, I want to refer to the structure of the police that shows exactly that this political killing task team, who it reports to, and that he himself, he signed the same structure that shows that the political killing task team report to me.
File 3, General 445.
File 3.
File 3 of 10, 445. Not very clear, but I think that's the one you're referring to. Is there a better copy?
Yes, we've got a better copy. What I wanted to just submit. There's a more clearer picture because these things are very much important.
But that is the structure you are looking for.
That is one of them. It's one of them because I wanted the one that was in fact approved by himself. That shows that in his own structure, it reports to Chief.
That one, oh.
In the same document on 449,
449.
because this one is approved by General Masemola on the
It's
13th
fine.
of May.
I'll work with this one. Commissioner is the one that was approved now by the National Commissioner on the 15th of May,
May, yes,
2025. And then look at on the right-hand side where you see support shared services. Below support shared service section head anti-corruption. Then below that one, do you see the court case and forensic investigation somewhere there? Commissioners?
Yes, yes. So it's the third block.
Yes.
So the first block is shared services. The second block is section head anti-corruption. And then the third block is primary investigation service, including cold case.
Cold case. It reports to the Deputy National Commissioner Crime Detection. Now, it worries me when the National Commissioner say one of the issues, bone of contention that is my strong desire to assume direct cold case unit. And what worries me more, painfully so, is that he then says, because the cold case unit is where the Senzo Meiwa case is. I don't know what the National Commissioner was insinuating by so saying, but at this point in time, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to go to the next bone of contention. If ever I have to address that part why he mentioned the Senzo Meiwa matter, I'll get there when there's a need.
Well, General, maybe before you proceed, this structure that we are looking at, 449, that's in 2025. It's approved in 2025. So that doesn't tell us anything about the point that the National Commissioner was making, rightly or wrongly. What he was saying, as understood his evidence, was at the time of your appointment as Deputy National Commissioner, you curiously, according to him, became interested in getting the cold case unit to report to you. So we would need to see an older structure that was applicable at the time that you were appointed. If you can't do it now, you can do it tomorrow. I see that these pages are quite difficult to look at.
It's very easy, Commissioners. I do have the structure, even the previous one or the previous National Commissioner, but I have a document that I intend to produce, speak to, that addresses business case submission to improve the performance of the detective service in accordance with the SAP's annual performance plan. Now, in this document, I wrote a document, and I don't know, my legal team is here. They sometimes query me and say, you talk too much, or you run ahead of yourself. At this point in time, business case submission to improve the performance of the detectives. It is that document where I say docket allocated to various investigation units, but I want to read this document. At some point, the commission will not have.
Have you provided that to us?
No,
Jim?
we have provided it, but it doesn't have this other list.
Sorry.
Is it not complete?
Yes, you would get a page like this.
Ms. Killian, are you able to assist us? Please.
General, I think while Ms. Killian is still trying to find that page, you may, in the meantime, want to look at page 447 of that same bundle where we were looking at 449. If you look at 447, what does that tell us? I know it's barely legible. Is that helpful?
There is reference to cold cases.
This is in 2022, approved by General Sitole. And if you look at that extreme left block, you will see it has National Commissioner, it has something that is not legible, then another one, and then it has Cold Case Investigation Unit. Does that help at all?
Yes. What I can say, Commissioners, is that the court case unit, even when I just got employed as the organized crime component head, reported to me as even the budget as we speak now, as we speak, it was with organized crime component head of the cold case. So I was expected to actually sign the performance contract with the cold case unit myself. And it was very difficult because when I called the person who was supposed to report to me was not able to come. So you were in charge of all others, but there is this one that you don't know where he is. And when you say, but where are you? Can you come close? Say, no, I can only come here with the National Commissioner, maybe in his presence, because he felt that the National Commissioner said he must report to him. But At the same time, the National Commissioner said to me, no, he reports to you, but he will also report to me. Now, I want to bring a clearer structure from generals that I see from General Secretary, that I know that this one was actually, the cold case unit was actually falling under detectives and under organized crime. Mar, the main reason what I want to just point out, Commissioners, is that when I talk about the business unit to improve performance of the detectives, you will see where I'm coming from, and then why was it necessary that I also get to know those dockets and where they are. Because I wasn't only doing it with the cold case unit. I wanted to know. I have dockets that are, the old Scorpions dockets that are with the DPCI that have been closed. Where are they? Because the system remains open. We have dockets that are with IPIT. They are closed. The system remains open. I have dockets that are within crime intelligence. The system remains open. They are closed. So now, what I did is I crafted a document which the National Commissioner ultimately approved. That was crafted by me.
That is
that page?
that is the document I think I was asking.
If I may assist, thank you, Chair. Page 458, Annexure SS 29.
Thank you, Ms. Killian.
It will assist commissioners if I really read this thing, because it leads also to an argument where we say there's a paragraph in, let's say, there's a paragraph in page 3 of the same document, paragraph 3.5.1, dockets allocated to various investigations environment. Now, I say the Deputy National Commissioner Crime Detection is the custodian of all case dockets within the SAPS. However, there are case dockets that are investigated by other environments for whom the Deputy National Commissioner Crime Detection has no control over, whilst he must account for such docket. These dockets are taken into account when the performance of the detective is being measured. Now, why I'm reading this thing specifically is that I was breaking down to say in the following respective environments. I don't know, because I want to read this thing, Commissioner, it's 3 pages. I don't know if I'm going to be allowed to, or I must just speak to it, but it is important because it illustrates what the National Commissioner approved, because when I go to the recommendations, the National Commissioner approved 6.11 approved, 6.12 not approved for counterintelligence, for me to have the docket of counterintelligence. Approved for POP and ORS, 6.13 approved, that POE detectives report directly to Detective Directorate, liaise with OD, 6.14 approved, 6.15 requires expansion.
General, I think what you are concerned with is the cold cases, dockets or investigations. Why don't you just refer us to where it says, here's General Masimula's approval that this should fall under me?
Okay, Chair, I
Yes.
showed a structure that he approved that says it falls under divisional commissioner who reports to Deputy National Commissioner. It was previously when I joined, it was reporting to me as a component head of, and then I'll produce that structure tomorrow morning. I do have that structure, but maybe I should end it there.
You see, now you are referring to figures. This number approved, that number approved. That's very confusing to me. I don't know about everybody else. So that's why I wanted you to just zoom in on what's relevant to cold cases.
What I was trying to refer to here, Chair, without wasting the Chair's time, was that I wrote a document that seeks to account for all the dockets that are in the country, in respective environment. And I said there are a number of dockets in respective environment, whether you're talking cold case section, whether you're talking IPIT, whether you're talking all the different, whether you're talking intelligence. Now, all those dockets, when I look at the fact that I have to account and say, why do we have dockets that are 15 years old? Where are these dockets? Are they closed? Are they open? Because this is what improves performance of the detectives. In the absence of these dockets and the system being updated, the detectives remain not performing. Now, my job was to say, wherever there are dockets, even in uniform, where they are not supposed to be having dockets, they have dockets. Even when you have dockets in at OR Tambo, ORS is uniform, but they have dockets. They are investigating dockets. Where are those dockets? Now, it is my job to seek to know where the dockets are, including the cold case dockets. If they have many dockets, where are they? Those that have been closed, and why some of them are more than, let's say, 10 years or such.
General, can you just show us where on SS29 that is, the point you're trying to make, as I understand it, is that it is appropriate for you to call for the dockets from the cold case unit. Can you, that's the point you're trying to make, that it falls within your ambit, your jurisdiction?
No, what I'm trying to say, not to call for the docket. I've never called for the dockets from the court case unit. But I want to know, firstly, if we say you, as a court case unit head, you report to us, we must have you, we must see you, we must have a performance contract with you, we must know where you are, you must account, we must know how many dockets you have and what are you doing with those dockets, how far are they. You must see progress so that we can account for your work as well.
I see.
And they report to the detective. Even when I came back, I was told they reporting to me.
Okay, so on SS29, you've introduced this document to show that the cold case unit falls under